To build a future that actually works for everybody, especially young people, definitely agree that we need to center healing justice. That means recognizing that mental health is real and it's not separated from our work. It's foundational. If young people are going to be able to step into leadership and organizing, they need spaces that honor their healing, not just their labor. Because we don't support mental health and healing, that's when we see burnout. We can't afford that, especially in tribal communities where there's so many ongoing issues that need to be addressed and changed. We can't have our young leaders burning out early, especially when they're just starting to step into their power. One thing we've learned is that the importance of developing emotional intelligence at a younger age. It helps us to navigate different community spaces with more intention and maturity. Like understanding that in movement work, there's no permanent allies, no permanent enemies. That kind of clarity helps us focus on the work instead of getting caught up in the personal conflict or the ego of it all. And let's be real, our generation is incredibly resilient. We've lived through so much in such a short amount of time, and yet we continue to show up in these spaces. So here's what actually needs to change. Stop hearing the youth out and just actually listen. Value what we say, understand that different communities need different approaches, and a one-size-fits-all approach will not work. If we want inclusive systems, we have to build them in partnership from youth from the ground up, with care, with listening, and space for healing and sustainability.